How you doing? This is Iowa Hunter coming at you here from the Rock and Bee. I put in my big-n-beasty, my winter plot. The 26 is when I planted it, and I planted in a pretty good size area, and then another strip that I just disced it up. It was full of weeds and didn't really prepare it too much. But the brassicas, like I said before, seemed to drown everything else out, and that big-n-beasty seemed to do a good job. So I did figure out in my other bigger plot, that daggone buckwheat just keeps coming up, but I think that big-n-beasty will, the turnips will probably shade it out. Anyway, the east side of my plot, this was just full of weeds and you know, back to prairie or whatever, because the last thing I had in here is chupa, but you can see there's a nice carpet of brassicas in here, and as you go down that way farther, that's all brassicas. So it's really doing good. Now this area is generally pretty damp, so even though I had a lot of weeds in here and whatnot, I was kind of hoping it would do well. And this is going to pop really well here in the next couple of weeks. Then I'll end up hitting it with some urea, and then leaves will get as big as your foot. Hopefully, that's the plan. And look at this little mound here. For some reason, probably the rain, even though it germinated and was rooted in that 2 inches of rain we got. We had 70-mile-an-hour winds the other day, but we only got 1 inch of rain, luckily, but tore the siding right off my new house. But a lot of other people got it worse. Anyway, this is the little section that goes in between the two food plots, and it's all in brassicas too. But I noticed on my plot watcher camera, them deer, you know, they could be over in the clover field, which they are. They're thick over there. I mean, I got pictures of them bedding there, 5 of them bedding at the same time and eating. But they're over in this brassica field with their heads down, just going across it, mowing off my daggone plants. And I had a problem with that last year. So I decided to get on it and build me a hot wire around here. I got online and I found somebody ended up with a friend of mine, but he was getting rid of all of his hot wire stuff, and I just got a big old tub full of turbo wire, turbo tape, big spools and spools of it. I got 80 rods. I bought a few more of them adjustable rods. Those are handy in between if the wire's sagging or not. You can just push them in, and they don't go in the ground very much. But I pounded all these fiberglass rods in. Gallagher says 18 inches in, and I pounded them in 18 inches with a 4-pound hammer. That'll build your arm up. Anyway, this is the first night I had it. I had it all up yesterday, and I had some problems getting the power to the line, and now I got the power in there and should be keeping the deer out of there. But the brassicas are growing good. Like I said, you can put them in there, think you're putting them in there lighter than heck, and you end up with quite a bit more. But I was kind of planning on the deer eating a bunch of them, so I have to see what happens, because if this works how it's supposed to, we won't have no deer getting in there. But I'll have to check out my camera. I think I might go get down and get a video camera and put on that other end where I think they might try to get through, and see if I can't get a picture of them, because the first one that puts his nose up on that wire, he's going to get a good taste of it. And then when I think I'm ready, I'll drop that down, and I'll have some big old huge turnips in there. Now, right when I come in my food plot down there, I bought an extra little light. I think they're like $28 or something. It's the little thing that clips on the wire, and then it's got a ground that goes in, and that light just flashes when the pulse comes through. So, you know, I don't need to come up here. If I come into my food plot and I just look over against that wire and I see that light flashing, I know my fence is working. And of course it could still be broken somewhere, but I'll have to keep an eye on it a little bit. And once they figure it out, hopefully they'll stay out of here for a while and I'll have a really nice turnip plot. So we will see what happens. Anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to update you on today. It takes a little bit. You know, you could have done this a lot easier if I would have had a post hole pounder, which I do, but it was over in my shed, and I already have my clips on there, and I drew them all out at the right distance. They're supposed to be so many inches if you go to the Gallagher website off the ground. And as you start walking around this thing, putting your posts in every 30 feet, you start out with a small for 30 feet, and by the time you get to the end of your thing, you're taking a pretty good size 30 feet when you're pounding them in with a 4-pound hammer. But it sure does feel good when you quit hitting your thumb with it, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, first day I put in 1 row of pegs. The next day I put in the other row and strung all the wire and put them in the clips. Didn't get it up and running because you're supposed to get it running and not have it up when it's not got electric in it, because the deer think they can cross it. And then today I grabbed them other little posts to put in between. The farmer gave me that little trick to kind of even the wire out, and they're not in the ground very much. So anyway, we'll see how this electric fence turns out, and I'll keep you updated. I'm gonna keep my plot watcher camera in here just to see if I see anything in the field, or for a while anyway, or if I see anything walking around the outside or whatnot. And I may put a couple other cameras around the outside just to take a look at it. But this is a rockin' bee for now, and we're gonna back out of here and hope you guys are getting your food plots ready.